OnePlus, the company that made its name by telling users they would never have to settle, is now asking some of its most loyal fans to do exactly that. The new OnePlus 9R was launched in India exclusively as a response to rising prices of the OnePlus 9 and the OnePlus 9 Pro. But is this a good phone at its starting price of 39,999 rupees anyway, or do you have too many cut corners to deal with? We're about to find out. This is our full review of the OnePlus 9R. You're watching Gadgets 360, and if you find this video helpful, please do consider subscribing to our channel and hitting the bell icon so you know whenever we publish a new one. From a distance, the OnePlus 9R looks just like its siblings. The shape and layout of the camera module is common across all three models, and the only thing missing on the 9R is a Hasselblad logo. The glass rear panel is curved at the sides, and it's actually pretty easy to use this phone even with one hand. But there are a few things that might leave you confused about how exactly this is a more affordable version of the OnePlus 9. The 9R has 4 cameras, whereas the OnePlus 9 has only 3. Its body is made of metal instead of polycarbonate, which strangely gives this an advantage. In fact, the 9R has more in common with the OnePlus 8T, including its design and specifications. You get a 6.5-inch Full HD Plus Fluid AMOLED screen with a 120Hz maximum refresh rate and HDR10+, which is identical to the 8T and the 9. It also boasts a 240Hz touch sampling rate, which is good news for gaming enthusiasts. The display is bright and sharp, and videos played on it look good with strong contrast and deep blacks. Sound from the bottom speaker and earpiece isn't perfectly balanced, but you still get a decent stereo experience, and the OnePlus 9R can get quite loud without distorting. Under the hood, you have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 870 SoC paired with either 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, or 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. You get the same fast UFS 3.1 standard used for the higher-end models. My unit was running the latest version of Oxygen OS, version 11.1, which runs on Android 11. I was surprised to see no security patch update beyond February 2021 at the time of this review. Now, since we've already talked in depth about the software experience in our OnePlus 9 Pro review, we're just going to gloss over it. Do check out that review by clicking on the link in the description. Anyway, it shouldn't be any surprise that the OnePlus 9R felt snappy in everyday use. The combination of high-end SoC and 120Hz refresh rate makes for a very fluid and responsive user experience. Apps load quickly, transitions are crisp, and the OnePlus 9R does feel like a high-end phone. Games run smoothly too, and I had no performance or graphics quality issues with Asphalt 9 Legends and Call of Duty Mobile. However, I did find that these games were capped at 60 FPS with the screen not using its full 120Hz refresh rate capability. I also felt the rear panel as well as the top of the metal frame getting a bit warm after about 10 minutes. Nothing uncomfortable, but still noticeable. In terms of battery power, you get a 4500 mAh capacity, which is about standard for this segment. The OnePlus 9R does support 65W fast charging, but as we saw in the unboxing, it's a rather old-school, chunky-looking charger, not the Type-C version that ships with the rest of the OnePlus 9 family, and even the 8T. Also, there's no wireless charging. The OnePlus 9R managed to last through a full day of use with the refresh rate set to 120Hz. You should be able to play games and stream movies for a few hours each day without worrying about battery life. In our HD video loop test, the OnePlus 9R ran for 15 hours 49 minutes. It takes about 30 minutes to reach 64% and about 50 minutes to reach 100% using the bundled charger and without turning the phone on. This is still quite good, but not close to the claim of 100% in about 40 minutes. As I said before, the camera module is similar to what we saw on the OnePlus 8T. So we have a 48-megapixel primary camera with a Sony IMX586 sensor, accompanied by a 16-megapixel wide-angle camera, a 5-megapixel macro camera, and a 2-megapixel monochrome camera. Since the OnePlus 8T managed to capture reasonably good photos and videos, I'm expecting much the same here too. You won't be disappointed considering the price of this phone. Daytime shots were crisp and detailed with good exposure metering for the most part. Colors are a little on the dull side, but this is better than oversaturated and unnatural color reproduction. The phone is quick to lock focus, and you can get some dramatic background blurring in close-ups. The wide-angle camera captures a very wide field of view, but there's severe perspective distortion, so this should be used sparingly. Portrait mode manages very good results, and the macro camera also produces very usable shots. At night, a lot depends on how much light there is around you, and nightscape mode can make a dramatic difference. The wide-angle camera is not of much use in the dark, and even nightscape won't help much. Daytime selfies turned out okay with decent skin tone reproduction. Portraits did have decent edge detection, however the front camera did struggle at night. Video performance was good in the daytime, and 4K wide-angle video is also possible. You can switch between the primary and wide-angle camera in the middle of recordings. At 4K, colors were slightly overblown and footage did have a warmer tone. Stabilization is decent at 1080p. Colors and the level of detail are decent overall. At night, stabilization does cause a juddery effect in video at 1080p as well as 4K. To wrap it up, the OnePlus 9R is a very slightly warmed over OnePlus 8T, and a bigger price reduction would have made it a lot more interesting than it is. It looks slick and modern, and performance is great whether you're gaming or just getting your daily tasks done. The cameras are what you'd expect for this price level, battery life is good, and charging is quick too. It's still unfortunate that buyers don't get anything new or interesting. There's no IP rating or wireless charging, the additional cameras aren't adding much value, and frankly, a lot of people would probably find a sub 30,000 phone such as the OnePlus Nord just as satisfactory. In terms of competition, Samsung has just launched its Galaxy S20 FE 5G, the Vivo X60 series looks competitive, and there's also Xiaomi's new Mi 11 series coming up. So if you're a OnePlus fan and you need an upgrade at this price level, the 9R is a safe bet. However, there might be more interesting options coming up very soon. So that's it for our review of the new OnePlus 9R. Thanks for watching, and as usual for all things tech, do visit us at gadgets360.com.